Oh boy, do I have a treat for you today, direct from Canada. Probably the most fun I've had on one of these interviews. It's Brett Kissel on Up and Country, powered by V Livecast. I'm your host, Sue Bonzel, where I'm bringing you new up and coming country artists. What do vodka, drive-ins, and Johnny Cash have in common? My Canadian friend, Brett Kissel, is here today. Brett, hey, how's it going?
I'm doing really well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm super excited to talk to you. Now, you are in Canada. What part of Canada are you in?
I'm in northeastern Alberta, just outside of Edmonton, on our farm right now. I've kind of been hunkered down for the last little bit, and I think she's fixing to snow right
Oh,
away. It's September, so it's about to get cold.
oh man. See, and I just heard it in your voice. You got the boat, the boat. That's the
Oh
little that.
yeah, exactly. I can't hide it anymore. I'm Canadian through and through.
There you
Although
go.
I will tell you this, my favorite word to use is y'all. That is the most efficient word
Uh,
there's ever been. So I
okay,
still use it.
you are absolutely speaking my language. I am from Northern California in wine country, right? And I use y'all all the time, and people look at me like, where do you think you're from? And I'm like, hey, look, it is the best word ever. Y'all, all y'all.
Absolutely. For me, I've got three kids. So instead of saying, hey, all of you children over there, can you please come over here to dad? I'll just be like, y'all come here. And so I say it all the time.
It's perfect. Okay, good. All right. We're definitely speaking the same language, even though, we're in different countries. So you're kind of a big deal in Canada. Now, I read here, it says right here, the Canadian press crowned you the new king of Canadian country. Holy cow. Like, that's huge.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Of all the artists that you speak to, every now and then somebody gets a nickname, or the press will say this or the press will say that. You can never predict that kind of stuff. I mean, am I grateful that I guess that's what the Canadian press has said? Yeah, but there's only one true king, and that's George Strait.
Uh,
So let's just get that clear. George is the king. uh, there's a guy, a friend of mine named Kurt Bardella, who in an interview, he called me the king in the north. So I'm okay to be like Jon Snow, the king in the north. That's fine. But we're going to let George Strait be the true king of the kingdom, all right?
Yeah, yeah, I know. George Strait, kind of a big deal. What can we say? But you have won Canadian Country Music Awards, and you were just nominated. Hold on, CMA a nomination for an international award, the Jeff Walker Global Country Artist. So you were nominated. I'm looking forward to the CMAs this year in November. I'm going to be rooting for you.
Oh, me too, very much. I mean, the CMAs is such an extraordinary organization. Obviously, for 55 years, they've been doing it so well. And all of my heroes, all of your heroes
Yeah.
in country music have graced those stages or held up a glass trophy a time or two. And as a Canadian who's really trying hard now to establish a system and a group of friends and family and connections in Nashville to get this type of recognition, especially from somebody like Jeff Walker, who, as you may or may not know, is just he was so well loved and respected and admired on Music Row. So to name this after him, and to get that type of recognition is extremely special. So I'm honored deeply.
Ah, that's awesome. Well, I can't wait. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be rooting for you. Now, so you
Thank
do have,
you.
like you said, you have ties to Nashville. I understand you're pretty good friends with Garth Brooks. Yeah.
Well, I've been lucky enough to open for him about 20 times or more,
Okay. Well, that
and
that
to
counts as a
get to
good
learn.
friendship.
Yeah, so to get to learn from him in two different areas of the music business, what he does on stage, he is the best. Period. And if you want to dispute me, if someone wants to fight me on this, I'm ready to go because Garth is the best entertainer that there's ever been. But learning from Garth off stage and everything that he does to treat his band and his crew and all of his team members with, the utmost respect, but then also his fans, everything that he does is for the greater good of the show and the people that come to see the show. So I'm very grateful I've been able to learn from him on both sides of the business. He's the best, and I love him
He is.
dearly.
I'll agree with you too. Like I will go to bat for that as well. Probably one of the best shows I've ever been to was Garth Brooks. So I absolutely 100% with you on that one. So
Exactly.
so how cool. So now you have a new album out. Which so this kind of through the pandemic that this all came about because you've got some pretty deep stuff in this album with some of the songs on it.
Very much so. I mean, the album title is What is Life, which is a pretty gigantic question. And quite frankly, I don't know if I'm any closer to finding the answer to that question. And I'll probably never find it out for my entire life. But that's the beauty of this journey of life. And as you strip away all of the external validation, you strip away everything that we as entertainers have grown used to over the past now almost 2 years. It's very important to try to figure out what is this all about and what is music all about and what good am I as a human being, as an entertainer, as a songwriter, a creator in this time and in this space. So every song, to a degree, could be an answer to the question, what is life? Which is a lot about fun, family, making memories, not taking yourself too seriously, or a song I'm extremely proud of that was the first single called Make a Life, Not a Living.
Okay, that's how I found you. I found that song and I was like, I got to meet this guy because this song was like speaking to me because we take things so seriously and you've got a great video that absolutely illustrates this. I want to take a look at that video. We're going to play that video for you guys so you can see what we're talking about and you can really feel it.
This 94 Ford gets me A to B. This old tin roof ain't never had a leak. Who needs a swimming pool when you got a creek? Yeah, this guy's got everything he'll ever need. I don't need 6 figures, my bank account bigger. Pile of cash don't make me richer. No. Give me a wraparound porch swing, swinging 5-acre pond with a night crawler sinking. Girl in my hand, the other one drinking that Bud Light. Yeah, that's my kind of money. I'm good with what the good Lord's giving. Dirt under my boots in the air I'm breathing. Lose every penny, I'd still be winning. I'm trying to make a life, not a living. Trying to make a life, not a living. Now you can't take nothing with you when you go. The time that you got's about as good as gold. Got a girl that I love that I get to hold. Thank God for what I got and not what I don't. I don't need 6 figures, my bank account bigger. Pile of cash don't make me richer. No, give me a wraparound porch swing, swinging 5-acre pond with a night crawler sinking. Girl in my hand and the other one drinking that Bud Light. Yeah, that's my kind of money. I'm good with what the good Lord's giving. Dirt under my boots in the air I'm breathing. Lose every penny and still be winning. I'm trying to make a life, not a living. Trying to make a life, not a living. Trying to make a life, not a living. Give me a wraparound porch swing, swinging 5-acre pond with a night crawler sinking. Girl in my hand and the other one drinking that Bud Light. Yeah, that's my kind of money. I'm good with what the good Lord's giving. Dirt under my boots in the air I'm breathing. Lose every penny and I'd still be winning. I'm trying to make a life, not a living. Trying to make a life, not a living.
Okay, that is the video for Make a Life, Not a Living, and I got chills when I was watching the box of files, like, burn on the fire. I'm like, "Oh, man, there's so many times when I would wanna do that," and at the end there where it's like, "Yeah, enough is enough, let's go make it happen." That is such a powerful, powerful song. I'm a fan. I'm a fan, what can I say?
Well, I appreciate you saying that. And I love that video too because of what it stands for. And even though it really does follow the lyrics, which sometimes you can have a video interpret the song in a much different way. But this one, I want it to be very true to the lyrics because, as far as I'm concerned, they are so good and so strong. And not just me, but so many people in my circle, a lot of my friends, my family, my fans, and I think people across North America, around the world, were having the same type of mental, everything going on in their mental state of saying, what are we doing here? What is this all about? What really matters to us? So the video talks about that and getting out of the office and getting out to the country and finding what really matters.
Yeah, I definitely I think it's going to speak to a lot of people, and like you said, especially during what we've been through in the last year and a half or so, it's kind of like, what are we doing? What are we waiting for? Let's go do what we want to do and go make that life, which is so so important.
Yes.
So I'm very happy that you made this song, you made this album, very very deep, like I said. Now, as we started this show, I said to everybody, what does vodka, drive-ins, and Johnny Cash have in common? We've got three things to talk about. This is very important stuff right now. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the drive-ins because we're talking about being in the pandemic. Like most musicians, every musician basically, it was like, okay, no more concerts. What are we gonna do now? And you said, you know what? I'm gonna go do the drive-in thing. You raised money for a good cause. Tell me about that whole experience.
It was one of those things where some of the best ideas come after maybe a cocktail or two. And so I've got my company Deuce Vodka here, and I took it to a friend's house and I said, hey, let's have a little taste test. And he had gotten out his phone and he showed an artist, I believe in Latvia, and who had done a drive-in concert. And he said, if anybody's going to do it in Canada, Brett, it's got to be you. So that night at like 1 in the morning, I called my management and my agency, who thought this was an emergency. Why is Brett calling at 1 in the morning? And I said, guys, I got an idea. We're going to bring cars. That way everybody can be social distant,
Right?
keep everybody safe, and let's do an arena level, festival style, big show, big screens, massive stage, and keep everybody in the vehicles, and we'll broadcast it through an FM dial. That's exactly what we did. And we ended up doing 24 concerts across Canada in a true tour. We had the semi trucks, the pyro, the big screens, the whole 9 yards. And like you said, we raised money for charity. So every, not ticket, but vehicle pass that we sold went straight to the food bank in that community. So we raised over $250,000 for food banks across Canada in a time where it was needed the most. So I'm very proud that we could use our music as a vehicle, pardon the pun,
Yeah.
be the driving force, pardon the second pun, to do good in a very, very dark time.
Yeah, I mean that absolutely is amazing. I love it that you were 1 o'clock in the morning having a little cocktail and making that phone call because that happens to me, but nobody will take my calls at 1 in the morning. But you,
I will.
right?
I'll take your calls now. Any good
Okay,
idea you got, you call me.
okay. You're like Brad. I got a great idea. I just had some Deuce vodka. So
I
speaking
should put
of,
that on my bottle as you want great ideas, have a shot of this.
there you go. So as we mentioned, there's the vodka connection, Deuce Vodka. This is your new product. So tell us about that.
Okay, well, hold on.
Oh,
So Deuce Vodka is an extraordinary prairie spirit. And as a Canadian, I'm really proud of this because we have incredible water from the Rocky Mountains, and we have one of the most extraordinary regions for wheat and grain and neutral grain spirit to make high quality stuff here in Canada. We're known around the world for it, but as Canadians, we're a very humble group of people. So we're not like, hey, we're the best. But there are a couple things that we're really good at hockey, and we're really good at making booze. So our standard Prairie Spirit Deuce Vodka here is something I'm extremely proud of. It's ultra smooth. It's your 40% good old vodka, and I can't wait for you to try it, as well as our flavor. So Neon is our flavor that's watermelon citrus, basically. Think Harry Styles, watermelon sugar, hi. And it's only 22%, which is one of the only vodkas on the market at a very low percentage. So that way you don't really get the hangover because it's not your full 40%, right? So you mix this with soda and the country songs you can write after a couple of drinks of this.
Okay, I'm super excited. We're gonna have to do a little bit of a trade because, as I mentioned, I'm here in wine country, Northern California. So, do you drink wine at all?
Very much so. There's nothing greater. There is nothing greater in the world than a California Cab Sauv. And you know it. Everybody knows it. So if there's an opportunity to send you a case of vodka for a couple of high-end bottles of wine, I'm your guy.
I think we might be doing a trade.
Perfect.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so now we covered the drive-in, we covered the vodka. You have got a story about Johnny Cash that I read about, and I thought, man, we have to talk about this. So tell us your Johnny Cash story.
Well, being that it's September and it's been 18 years now since the man in black has passed away. It's hard to believe that that amount of time has passed by. But Johnny Cash is the most extraordinary artist and an American icon. And he was my favorite too, growing up. As a little kid, I got a guitar and I would learn all the little Johnny Cash songs I could as a little kid. And when June Carter passed away, I was 12 and I wrote him a letter of condolences. And I remember writing it on yellow lined paper and putting it in the mail and sending it to the Johnny Cash fan club in Hendersonville, Tennessee. That was it. Now, in the meantime, I recorded my very first project, and it was a cassette tape called Keepin' It Country, and I had Tennessee Flat Top Box and Big River and Folsom Prison Blues and I Still Miss Someone on this cassette. And I recorded it locally in St. Paul, Alberta, and on September the 12th, Friday, September the 12th, 2003, it was my big album release concert. And so to put it in perspective, the village that I grew up in called Glendon, Alberta, has 250 people. And we sold 500 tickets for our little show.
Wow.
And the whole community was going to come out and everything. And my mom woke me up in the morning of the show and she said, I've got great news, but I've also got sad news. I said, what's the great news? She says, well, your concert is officially sold out. And we had a big pierogi dinner. We're all Ukrainians and big pierogi dinner and everything like that. And I mean, I was going to make some money on the show at 500 tickets at $10 a ticket. Like I had my whole cassette paid off, like this little entrepreneur, right? And she said, but the sad news is that Johnny Cash passed away this morning. And I cried because he was my hero. So my dad came home from work. My dad is a school teacher, and he had a stack of envelopes with, letters from my cousins and aunts and uncles across Canada saying, congratulations, Brett. And this big yellow envelope with shaky handwriting. And I opened it up, and inside was an 8x10 signed by Johnny Cash. And it said, to Brett, Jesus first, Johnny Cash. And I received that on the day that he died. So I don't know I don't know if he signed that 5 days ago.
Right.
I don't know if he signed that 4 months ago. I have no idea, but it is my most prized possession, and it's an honor to have that hanging up in my music room.
Wow, I have chills. Like that is so amazing. I like I said, I read that and I'm like, I gotta have you tell this story. And you said you were 12 years old when this happened?
Yeah, I was.
And you sold out your first concert.
I did. Yeah. So in some ways, I feel, and call me crazy, and it's okay if you do, but in moments in my life and in my career where I've needed guidance the most and help or a sign, I feel as though I've had Johnny Cash's hands on my shoulders. And everybody's got the bracelet, WWJD.
Right.
But for me, that stands for what would Johnny do? Like in this scenario, what would he do? What would he stand for? And his love for June Carter and my love for my wife Cecilia. And like I think in all these different circumstances, and I can play them back in my mind of I thought a lot about what he would do. And it's been a great sense of comfort for me.
Wow. That's powerful. Super powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for sharing that story, but you know what? We have one more really fun thing that we're going to do. Because you are in Canada, I am here
Yes.
in the United States, and so I looked up a few Canadian words that I was not necessarily familiar with. So I'm going to have you do an explanation. We'll have a little fun with this. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to try my best.
Okay. Skookum. You ever heard of that?
I don't know what a skookum is. Is that like a term of endearment?
I don't know. I don't know. I was asking you.
See, and I've heard it, but I know what a skunka is because I'm Ukrainian. There's a skunka that's building a den underneath the chicken coop out here, and I'm gonna have to get rid of the skunka. It's a skunk.
Oh, a skookum.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't know what a skookum. Is that what you said?
Skookum. I don't know. How about this?
What did Google say it is?
I don't know. I don't have it in my notes. I'll have to Google it now.
And I'm gonna have to Google that too. Can you imagine if I just go up to my beautiful wife, I'm like, "Hey, skunkum," and we think it's this term of endearment, whereas really it's like a harsh word.
Like what did you just call me? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? Kerfuffle.
Oh yeah, a kerfuffle is like a rigmarole, like a hullabaloo. You know what I mean? It's
All
like
good words.
yeah, a kerfuffle. It's like I don't know. We're having like my words right now. It's like this is what a situation. What an ordeal. What a kerfuffle.
What a kerfuffle. That's kind of fun to
Yeah.
say. I like that one. Now, how about Jam Busters and Timbits?
Well, Jam Busters, I don't know, but
Okay.
Timbits, we all know.
Okay.
Timbits are the donut holes
Yes.
at Tim Hortons, and God, are they ever good? My kids love Timbits, and anybody who's tried to kind of replicate it just doesn't seem to do it well or right. I used to work at a Tim Hortons in the summer when I was a teenager, and my aunt and uncles, they owned a Tim Hortons, and I doubled in size that summer because that's all I would do is just eat Timbits.
That's so fun. Okay, so Jam Busters, I think are like the jelly-filled donuts.
Okay. Well, and we just call them jelly-filled Timbits, but Jam Busters is a good name. I'm going to adopt that now.
So now Timbits, so do they call it Timmy's sometimes?
Oh yeah, Timmy's is the nickname for Tim Hortons. Yes.
Tim Hortons. Okay, now explain what Tim Hortons is because we don't have those here.
Tim Hortons is a Canadian staple restaurant where you would have never thought that coffee and donuts is going to be the most popular restaurant, but after all, we are Canadian. So coffee and donuts is the #1 cultural cuisine of the Great White North. So it's coffee, donuts, soups, sandwiches, and hockey cards. You can get hockey cards for, the legends or the stars of today with your coffee and donuts. And there's a lineup every day for 20 minutes just to get your $2 coffee.
Really?
And one of the words that we've invented in Canada is a double-double at Timmy's. And double-double is 2 creams, 2 sugars. So you want your Timbits, and you want your Timbits and a double-double. And if they don't get your order right, it'll just be a big kerfuffle.
Oh. Man, you're good at this. This is good. Okay. What about a hang a Roger?
Oh yeah, hang a Roger is we're gonna just take a right, or if you want to go left, take a Larry, because it's like, or if you want to do a U-turn, you can call that a shit hook, or you can call that flip a Hank Snow. And I don't know why, but it's like, and because if you say a right, say I'm going left, and they're like right.
Right.
No, right.
Right. No, right.
No, left. Okay, right. left is right. No, 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 no. You're going to take a Roger or a Larry.
That makes the most sense. I mean, I'm going to have to adopt some of these things. This is good stuff. So now I also looked up some American slang, and as I'm looking through some of these phrases and things, and I'm going, everybody knows these, like everybody. But I'm thinking, well, I'm also American. So I'm just going to throw these out there, and I'm going to assume that you probably know what they are. They're certainly not as much fun as the Canadian words and phrases. Okay. So going postal.
Postal, does that mean I'm just going crazy?
Going postal, there you go.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Like you see somebody at the grocery store is like, this coupon is expired, but I still want to use it, and buddy goes postal.
And buddy goes postal, exactly. Yes. Yeah, that's
understood.
That's going postal. Okay, good. How about going Dutch?
So Dutch, does it mean like when you're at a restaurant and you split the bill?
Yes. Yes.
Is that what that means?
This game. You're 100% winning this game.
Gotcha.
How about let's see, podunk?
Podunk means like backwoods, hillbilly. Like I grew up in a podunk town. Like this podunk town out in the backwoods, down in the holler. That's where I grew up, except the Canadian version of it.
Okay, all right. So I figured like, okay, podunk, you're in country music, you probably, kind of like riding shotgun. You're obviously going to know what that is, right? Yes. Okay.
Everybody knows.
Of course you do. Okay, all right. You're winning this game. You can come to America anytime. We want you to come and visit.
So if I get dual citizenship, are those the questions that the government of the United States of America is going to ask me? Not about presidents or American history. It's going to be like, do you know podunk? Is that all I need to know?
I 100% know what's not on the test. And that is anything about any of the presidents and anything about geography and where the states are, because we don't know. We don't know. We have no idea.
I have put that to the test. I had a good friend in the States who, for a long time, believed that we got our very first area code up in Canada, and he sent a congratulatory message. As Canadians, we like to have some fun with our friends from the South from time to time and see if we can stretch them along. That we rode a moose to school and we lived in igloos, and but you know what? If I can have fun like that, Shania Twain's had fun like that, Celine Dion, Michael Bublé, we can do that.
Exactly. Well, I have had so much fun with you. I'm so glad you could join me today. Let us know where you're going to be. You got anything coming up that we might be able to go see?
Well, I wish I could tell you, but rules are changing all the time.
Yes.
1 minute you can do a concert, the next minute you can't do a concert. So where am I going to be? I'm going to be on the farm. There ain't no rules on the farm. So I'm here on the farm until maybe Garth Brooks calls and says, "Hey, tour's back on. Let's go, buddy." Or Brad Paisley, or I'm at this point where I don't even need to sing. I'll just go and sell merch. I just want to go out on the road again and hang out with my friends.
Right. Absolutely. And in the meantime, we'll see you on, TikTok and Instagram and all that good stuff. So definitely keep posting your stories from the farm, because we want to know what you're up to.
I promise you I will.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Brett Kissel, everybody. Yay.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Up in Country, where we have new episodes every Tuesday. And be sure to visit upandcountry.com for all of the episodes and information about our VIP club, where you're going to get exclusive backstage access. And if you're on Instagram or TikTok, make sure to follow me, Sue Bonzel. I'll see you next week.